Hi everybody, welcome to a brand new edition of Begg's Banter here on Ali Begg ABTV. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to start today's show by getting down with the kids. I've been told it's trendy, and my son said to me, Daddy, you've got to do this. So if you're watching for the first time and you like what you see, I've been asked to ask you if you would like to subscribe. So you know influencers on YouTube sort of point to the subscribe button, or they get a fancy subscribe logo coming up. I don't know how to do that yet, and I don't know where the subscribe button is. Please feel free to jump on board. We've got plenty lined up. This show is about interviewing well-known faces from the world of football. Today we're concentrating on Aberdeen, but going forward we will be interviewing those from the world of football, and I'm going to combine that by interviewing folk from the world of show business, where we chat their love of a football club and how they couple that with a very hectic career. If you follow me on social media, I'll be posting about that content very soon. Keep an eye out. Right. I think it's about time we introduce today's guest. I think it's safe to say that this guy is a bit of a cult hero at Pittodrie. The one and only Hans Gillhaus. Hans signed for Aberdeen on the 17th of November 1989 from Dutch side PSV Eindhoven. The fee of $650,000 was a club record at the time. In 3 seasons with the Dons, he played exactly 100 games, scored 32 goals, and he won the Scottish Cup in 1990 and then represented Holland at Italian 90 that summer. His partnership with Charlie Nicholas will probably go down as one of the best striking pairs the club has ever seen. He returned to Holland to sign for Vitesse Arnhem in the spring of 93, but will always remain a hero among the fans. Let's get him on. Hi Hans, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. It's fantastic to see you and looking so well as always. Let me get straight into it. Can you recall the first time that you met Alex Smith and Jockey Scott, and what were your first impressions of them?
The first time I met them was, I think, at PSV. I was playing a game there, and they came to watch him, and I met them briefly after the game.
Did you do any? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I just met them, and we started chatting about Scotland and Aberdeen, and just see where everything will end up.
Okay. Did you do any research on Aberdeen before you decided to join?
Yeah, I had a call with Theo Snelders.
Okay.
So I knew Theo from the Dutch league, obviously, and he said he was very positive about the club, about the location, about the city. They just won the League Cup, I think, and he said the team is very well, play very Dutch football, like possession play, but all they needed was a bit more firepower up front. Okay. That was where they're lacking. They were relying too much on Charlie.
Okay. Was it a difficult decision to leave PSV considering you just won the European Cup?
No, because that was already a year and a half ago. And a little small Brazilian of Romario came in, and he kind of took my place. So I wasn't having much playing time, so I was really eager to move on.
Okay. So the whole process, you actually signed for Aberdeen officially on the 17th of November. And then you made your debut the very next day against Dunfermline, which we'll come to in a minute. So did the whole process feel rushed, or were you quite relaxed about it all?
No, I was really relaxed about it. I was fit. That was the main thing. So you can go in straight in. And whether you start with a game or with a practice, that doesn't really matter.
Did you train with the guys before you played against Dunfermline?
I don't really recall. I might have done it maybe once or twice, but looking at the dates that you're mentioning, probably not.
Okay, so straight into your debut. Okay, so let's talk about your debut.
Then you end up in Dunfermline.
Yeah, that's right. I know. And you actually played up front that day with Charlie Nicholas. Alex and Jockey decided to play 4-4-2, so you went straight in up top with Charlie. Did you get a chance to speak to him, to have a chat about his style of play or anything like that before kickoff?
Yes, we had a very short chat. I remember it's probably in the bus or in the dressing room before the game. And Charlie was a very experienced player. I was an experienced player, and we were just more like having fun together and do our own thing, And that was for Charlie the same thing. He can do his own thing, and I'll feed from there.
We've got to talk about your goal. I think for so many of us Aberdeen fans, it's probably one of the most spectacular debut goals of any Aberdeen player. But can I ask, is that down the technique that you used for the overhead kick? Is that natural instinct or is it natural skill?
Can it be both?
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to say it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's just
those type of things can't be premeditated, right? It's just
no, you don't practice the overhead kick on training. You do that maybe after the training on the pitch, in the park. But no, that was just an instinct that the ball was just a bit behind you, and then you think, okay, let's go for it. You just react. That's it.
Unbelievable. It must have felt unbelievable when you saw it go in.
It did. Obviously, it was something I never done before, and it's for your debut. And I think it was within 10 or 15 minutes or so in the game, pretty early in the game. So to go from not playing for a while and that goal, it was a big relief, and more personally probably than for the club. But for me personally, if you start like that, the adjustments just go very quick. I was still living in the hotel. I remember in the new Markleff Hotel in Aberdeen, and so everything ran really quick.
Because the following Wednesday, you endeared yourself to the Aberdeen fans even more because you scored the winner against Rangers at Ibrox with that fabulous curling effort from just outside the box. How important do you think it was to get off to such a good start, considering the fee that Aberdeen had just paid for you?
Yeah, obviously the fee itself, in my world at that time at PSV, I mean, it wasn't a remarkable amount, but I realized obviously that it was for the club. That was the most expensive signing. And for a striker, that is something that you got to score goals. And whether you're the cheapest or the most expensive, you just got to score goals.
Okay, let's do some quick fire questions before we carry on. Who impressed you the most when you first arrived at the football club?
Charlie. Yeah. Obviously, I knew him of his name, but no, that was definitely Charlie.
Okay. Did you drive a club car? And if you did, what was it?
It was a red Volvo with my name huge on the side of the door. So if I had to go out at night, everybody knew where I was.
Talking about...
I couldn't hide.
Yeah. Talking about nights out, can you remember your first night out in Aberdeen with the lads?
Yeah, we always went to... it was in the same street as my hotel. It was just opened, a bar where you had the lounge downstairs. I don't remember the name, and we went there with a couple of players. And no, that was good. That was good.
Cool. All right. The 1990 Scottish Cup final. I know that you'd previously played in cup finals in Holland. So if I can compare the build-ups to the cup final, was there much of a difference from what you had been used to before?
Yeah, it was. It was way more alive in Scotland than in Holland. In Holland, when you go for a European Cup final or you play in the European Cup, there's a huge build-up. But not for the Dutch National Cup. That wasn't such a... Well, it was a prize, but it wasn't considered as big as it is in Scotland.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Can you recall your emotions and how you were feeling as you walked from the centre circle to the penalty box to take your penalty?
Yeah, I had taken a penalty before, at PSV in a final. That was the World Club Cup, where we played in Tokyo.
Yeah.
They had them at that time. You played against the winner from South America, and I took a penalty there as well. I was used to taking penalties, and so that wasn't. No, I wasn't nervous, but I had missed one couple of weeks before against Pep Bonner at Celtic. I remember, so that was a bit special, yeah.
Can I ask, just in terms of sort of education, because we have quite a few kids watching this show, which is fantastic. How important is it when you take a penalty that before you take it, that you make your mind up where you're going to put it and do not change your mind? Is that the best technique and advice you could offer?
That was my technique. That was my build-up. I know Ronald Koeman, for instance, he ran up to the ball. I had no idea where to go. He just looked at the goalkeeper. That wasn't me. I didn't have that many skills. I knew before I ran to the ball, I knew which corner I'm going to take, and I knew high or low.
Okay, good advice. All right. How did you feel as Brian stepped up to take his penalty, Brian Irvine?
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking. That is serious stuff, because it's a cup final, and it was behind the behind the goal was at our side as well. So that made it even more better. Yeah.
What were your emotions like when it went in? Did you just go nuts?
Yeah, that's a big relief, and you want to win finals. That's the thing, You don't play for money. You don't play for. You want to play fun, and you play for trophies. And that's and at that moment, you have a big trophy again, and it was my third in a row because the last two before that I won in Holland as well. So winning 3 in a row, that's amazing feeling.
Okay, let's do some more quick fire questions. We all knew before that cup final that Charlie Nicholas was going to leave to rejoin Celtic.
Yeah.
Did you try and persuade him to stay at Aberdeen?
No, not at all. No. I mean, Charlie is Charlie, and he can make up his own mind. I enjoyed the time we had, but Celtic was always his club, his thing. So no, there's no need to stop. We had a good relationship. We had dinners from time to time, but I wouldn't persuade him to stay. It's his decision.
Who was the best trainer at the football club?
Probably Grant or McKimmie.
Oh,
I mean, there were a lot of serious people there. Definitely not Jim Bed. No, Alex was Alex. That was he was our leader. He was our main guy, and he didn't train very serious either because he had to be fit for the games, and he had more that kind of mentality. But those are the quickest ones I will remember. Grant and
Stuart
McKimmie.
All right. Did you ever have for breakfast a buttery or a rowie?
See, no, never. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what haggis is, but that's definitely not breakfast.
Okay, we're going to have to organise to send you a packet of butteries. Where I come from, they're called butteries. Some may disagree with me, but I'm going to have to arrange to send you a packet and let me know. Watch this space. All right. Okay. For season 1990-91, your partner up front was Ian Jess for the majority of that season.
Yeah.
Now, knowing he was a young player, did you take him under your wing?
You do it quite not too seriously, but you just go by day, training session by session. And obviously there were a couple. We had Scott Booth as well coming through. So there were 2 youngsters. Jess was more the natural talent, and Scott Booth was more the hard worker. But they were once we started playing, it goes very naturally on the pitch, and it either clicks or it doesn't. And you can't really work on that. It's just very natural start.
Okay. What do you think went wrong at Ibrox?
I think we only needed a draw. and I think we were too much focused on not losing
Mm-hmm.
instead of going out as we did all the games before and just trying to win it. I think that's our mindset. Just messed it up, I think.
How obviously it was a gutting day
Yeah.
to the pit of your stomach. It was a gutting day for everybody involved. But in terms of your football career, where does that sit in level of disappointment?
I think it'll be in my top two or so.
Oh, really?
Losing that Club World Cup with PSV, that was a big disappointment. But losing the league on the last day, that'll be definitely my top two of negatives. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Do you have any regrets about the way you left Aberdeen?
No, it was difficult though. After that season, when we lost on the final day, I had a lot of options to go back to Europe. Big clubs were following me, especially like Borussia Dortmund at the moment. But I never really got any cooperation in it. They just wanted to keep me, and in those days, it was way more difficult to leave.
Mm,
And because I signed a 2.5 year contract, I had a year left, so they had so many rights for me to keep me, and I didn't agree on that. So that the year, half a year after that, it went okay, but then my last 6 months or so was not good for not for the club and not for me either. I
mm,
think we were all losing.
mm. Okay, let's not finish on a negative. We've got two quick fire questions to come, but just before we get to that, you
Yeah.
have a new job. Many congratulations. Tell everybody what your new job is.
Okay. At the moment, I'm at PSV doing youth scouting, but from July 1st, I will join Atalanta Bergamo in Italy. That's a Serie A club. A colleague of mine at the Chelsea scouting has started a job there, and he asked me to join him. So from July, so in a couple of weeks' time, I will start there.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Hans. That's
Thank
great
you.
news. Right, let's finish with these two last quick fire questions. The best player that you played with at Aberdeen?
Best player at Aberdeen. I would say, I would probably say Charlie.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And from a personal point of view, what was your favourite Aberdeen goal that you scored?
Now we talked about the bicycle kick, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But let's leave that one because we already discussed that. So I would say to add a little bit to your question, the best game I was in, which I enjoyed the most, was the quarterfinal Hearts at home for the cup,
Okay.
where we won 4-0. At that time, everything worked, and scored a good goal there as well. I think I have to go to that game or that goal as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Hans, listen, thank you so much for coming on. Begg's Banter, as we call it. It's great to see you, and the very best of luck with your new job with Atalanta.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Hans.
Thanks,
Great to
Ali.
see you. Bye for now. There we are, Hans Gillhaus. What an absolute superstar. Right, guys, we are all done for this edition of Begg's Banter. Thank you so much for watching. As I said earlier, keep an eye on the social media channels for brand new content coming very soon. My thanks, as always, to Saltire Energy and to Lux Scott for their continued support. And we shall see you very soon. Have a great day, great evening, great morning. Bye for now.